Good afternoon. This is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio,
And Tanika Gillard, I am naturally yours.
and you're watching The Twinness. So tonight we want to talk. Well, Tanika, how was your day today?
Had a pretty good day. Just some errands, around town. Of course, sometimes I need the big stuff, so I had to go to Sam's out here. That's what we have is Sam's. So I had a pretty decent day, easy, light, off today, just really taking it easy today. What
Okay,
about
yeah,
you?
today I was off. I was off today. I don't work, Wednesdays anyway, but it was a good day. I got a lot done, very productive, and I'm going to have a productive evening. But it was a good day. It was a good day.
Okay,
Well, the
all
biggest
right.
deal on the news today has been the kids going back to school because the COVID rates keep going up, and especially in Florida. So I don't know, Nikki. They want they want the kids to go back to school. However, the rates are going
But
up,
they're
and there's
having a big
no.
deal. They're having a big deal in Florida anyway because the COVID rates are going up and they're releasing like thousands of prisoners, 18,000, I think, by the end of August. And they're like,
Wow.
well, y'all letting the prisoners out, but y'all want the kids to go to school. The virus is increasing. So Florida is having it hard just all the way around.
And I believe
So
the
for,
teachers are suing. I thought the teachers were suing the governor.
I don't know, in Florida?
Yes, in Florida.
Okay. And
The
what we're
teachers are
doing here,
suing because
like
they're saying they don't want to go back. They're not ready to go back. There's nothing in place for the kids to go back. I don't want to say anything much, but we don't really get into politics here. But
well, when you talk about children going back to school, you think primarily regular ed. And so on my side, it's the special needs side. And parents are like, well, what are y'all doing? How are y'all going to make things different? Our children ride the bus in the morning, which y'all know y'all don't clean before and after. Then they got to be in school all day with shared equipment and supplies. And then they don't get home till late again, running the bus again. And if you're going to have limit how many people could be on the bus, how many routes are y'all going to run, how early is it going to run, are y'all going to alternate days with the students, what are y'all going to do? So we still have a lot of questions when it comes to the special needs kids, and even with them you still have to go in person to register them for school, but you have to make an appointment to register. So it's just a lot going on. It's hard to think about all of that and whatever else is going on in life.
right. All right, so let's jump into our subject for the evening. But yeah, that's a conversation that we can have, and maybe we'll have it on Sunday.
Okay,
Going back to
about
school, are
school.
you ready to go back to school, et cetera, because it's right around the corner.
For us, it's right around the corner. It's in August. So school for us
That's true,
starts
the end of
August.
August.
Yeah, August 25th is when school starts for us. And I know we're not talking about this today, but we got parents with new babies, like, kindergarten, pre-K. How do you keep them away from each other? Kids like to play and socialize. How do you keep a mask on a child like that, for all day,
For
So
all day.
those are the things that we're trying to figure out.
Well, we'll talk about it on Sunday, but for tonight,
Okay.
let's get into our subject. Our
Okay.
subject is, how did you begin, or what made you decide to go into business? How do you stay in
Mhm.
business? What are you doing with the changing times of business and COVID? Let's get into all of that.
Okay. Okay.
I
For
hear my
me,
ladybug in the background.
yeah, that's her in the background. I'm about to move her in a minute. I think we need to just start with you because you are the one who started this off. The
Well,
whole.
yes, yes. Well, Tanika, this is Tisha, Alternatives Beauty Studio, and this is my sister Tanika, Naturally Yours. But I started it. I really didn't go into the beauty industry wanting to own my own business, and most people don't know. Again, I'll say I started out as a nail technician. I started out as a nail tech,
But let's
and
backtrack a little bit more. We want to know what made you want to do your own. What inside of you said I want to have my own.
that really never happened for me. That's what I'm saying. I started out as a nail tech, and then I went to work for a nail technician. Her name was Alicia. She was the only Black nail tech that I knew in Queens. And who knew she was selling her business, and so she sold her business to me. So I didn't want to go into business. I just happened to go into business because she was like, "Well, and even today, you don't see that many Black nail technicians."
That's
So
true, but I have to cut you off there because I think you're telling a little fib. I
what?
can remember when you were young and you said, I'm not going to work for nobody. I'm just going to work for myself. I can
I really
remember
don't
that
remember
very
that.
clearly. Very clearly, you said you was going to work for yourself. You wasn't going to work for nobody. I remember
Really?
that. Yes.
Around what age was that? Because I really don't remember that.
Probably about maybe 13, 14 years old, and you already knew that you wasn't working for nobody else. And so I
Well,
think that maybe speaking things into existence, maybe you didn't know at the time what route, but you didn't want a boss over you. And that's how it
okay.
is. And I think that your personality goes with that as well. Sorry, T. But you don't like no one over you. So I think that that is what really,
Excuse me. So yes, I don't remember that, but I remember being that young and always into like the skincare. That's where I really was. You would see me with the Queen Helene mint
yes,
julep mask at that age. And that was
yes.
like so many years ago, because what, I'm 47 now.
Ambi.
So that would make me like 14 when I was doing
Mm-hmm.
that. Noxzema, I was always into skincare at that age. And then
Yes.
I was into hair because Ma used to have us do each other's hair once we became old enough to do it,
Mm-hmm.
because we would braid each other's hair up. And she would be like, y'all need to do something with that. Y'all are so talented. And we were what, 12,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
13. And then we would
Mm-hmm.
waken up on Saturday nights and get ready
Mm-hmm.
for church on Sunday. So Ma would press our hair out on Saturday nights. But during the week,
Right.
we would do each other's hair with the beads. And that back then, it wasn't the rubber bands, it was the aluminum foil. So,
Right.
yeah, but from back then, we would already started. But I don't remember what you just said, that I said, I don't want to work for nobody. I don't remember that. So look at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Ma always said, rest in peace, that I need to go into the beauty industry, even
Mm-hmm.
against what everybody else thought that I should
Mm-hmm.
do. Like, you
Okay.
should go to college, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But fast forward, I went to nail school and Grandpa was not happy. And
Uh-huh.
I went in the last time went to visit Grandpa on his deathbed. I had my lamps in my hand because I was buying supplies for the nail salon, even though she was fully furnished, but she was leaving and I had to start buying my own supplies. But that's how I got into the business. And I started out and I got the name from Grandma, Nurtured Nails, Hair, and Skin. Nurtured nail, and I was like, why nurtured? And she said, because nurtured means to take care of. So that's what I named the salon. Then I changed it to Nurtured Hair and Nails, because it was really a nail salon, but in the back I had two stations where I would braid hair.
Mm-hmm.
So that business failed. That business failed, and you have to have sometimes you have the failures with the successes. That failed. I would lasted maybe a year and a half because I did not know how to manage a salon. She sold me the salon, but I didn't have any clue as to anything. Um, she had her set of clients, and they didn't want anybody new doing their nails. So she's thinking, "Oh, I'm a trained Tisha, and the clients are going to come to you." And back then, airbrushing was a big deal. I was just learning how to airbrush. I was good at 3D nail art though, but the airbrushing was something that was tricky for me. And so that business failed. I had hired a couple of her people that she had, but they were stealing from me. They were taking clients home on the side. I was missing products. I was missing CDs. Back in those days, it was CDs. And so I was missing music. I was missing products, and they would show up when they wanted to, didn't show up when they didn't want to. So I failed. I did not know how to run a business then. And I was about
Uh,
25 at that time.
I'm gonna
So,
stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there because you made two good points. So you were saying that Grandpa did not approve of the career choice that you had. And so with that, I want to say, the fact that you continued on, and for our people that's watching or listening, it's important that you know what your goal is. It's not for everybody else. If you feel like this is for you, then you must persevere and go through it on your own. Because now we fast forward into 11 years later, Tisha's celebrating her anniversary of her salon, but she never quit. She never gave up, although I'm sure at times she wanted to quit and wanted to give up. But this was for her and it fit her lifestyle. So that was number one, that even if your family don't support you, you have to have the strength and the gump within yourself to say, this is what I am going to do and this is what I want to do. And then the second point was that you failed at your first business. It flopped, kaploop. But that still didn't deter you from continuing on your education and moving on to going to a level, to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, even till today, where you're still doing your continuing education when it comes to learning new skills and crafts and going a different route with the times that we're in today. So I just needed to make those 2 points.
Thank you for addressing those two issues. Yes, you have to move on with your life, no matter if it's not popular, because I'm telling you, Black nail technicians was not a popular thing back then. It's very hard to find a Black nail technician right now, but I wanted to learn nails. I had to learn nails. That was something I wanted to do, and I did it. So then let's fast forward. So then when the business failed, what was I going to do? I'm not going to just quit. I went on to work for Diane Bailey, I believe, and I got some skills. I learned some things under her. I learned how to become published in many magazines. And I want to say shout out to Keston Duke, because even from back then till now, matter of fact, I was just on the phone with Keston yesterday. So I want to say thank you for that, because if I was just like stuck my own way, I would have gotten my own way. But I went on, I forged ahead. I worked with Diane Bailey. I learned a lot under her, and then I just moved on. I learned how to become published. I learned how to get my name out there. Then, let's see, I went back to school for skincare, and I was like, okay, I'll go back to school for skincare. But, again, you don't see a lot of Black estheticians either. You don't see that because the cosmetology school will roll everything into one. You got your makeup, you have your hair, you have your skincare, all into one. But no, I wanted to learn from the bottom up, everything. I don't want to just know a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I got from that, after 5 years, my teacher, my nail teacher, Miss B is what her name was. She was like, Tisha, you're so talented in the nails. Why don't you work for the state? Why don't you work for New York State? I am going to personally recommend that you work for New York State. And I was like, really, Miss B? And yes. So now, even to this day, I'm a New York State examiner. I can go to any salon and say, this is wrong, that's wrong, the other's wrong. It's because my teacher saw something in me and said, Tisha, you are very talented. I am going to personally recommend that you get this job for New York State. And what was that? That was extra stream of income, because anytime there was a testing, and it would be $75 for 2 hours for me to just show up,
Okay. I need to just make a point here on that, that even if your family don't necessarily support you or see your gifts or talents, somebody else is. And when you keep going on your path, God puts people in the path that's going to be your bridge people. That's what they call it down here. Your bridge people that's going to help you get to the next level and the next level and the next level, as long as you are continuing on that journey. So you had Diane Bailey, that you a mentor and someone that looks up, a pioneer in the hair braiding industry. She's one that writes the book on natural hair care and also helped to pass the Crown Act in different states. So blessings to her. And then you had your other mentor, Miss B, who said, hey, I believe in you. You got gifts and talents. You need to be out doing a little bit more than what you're doing. So people understand that even if your family is not the ones, it's not for your family. It's for those people that are supposed to come into your life and sow a seed. I'm listening.
Okay. So that was the next phase of my life, was to go to aesthetic school, which was Christine Balmy. Then it was time for me to reopen. I reopened. I don't have a problem with people who work from home. I started in the basement. Walter turned the basement into a salon for me. Own bathroom, own entrance, sink. Everything was set up like a salon, and you know that. So I started there, and I've been on my own ever since. When we moved to PA, I am still the only natural hair care salon out here 11 years. Why is that? Because people want to, you have to have, well, for me, I feel like I have a niche, and this is my niche. Natural hair care is my niche. You know, so many salons are doing the other stuff. Let me stay in my lane, doing my locks, doing my braids, doing my twists. I don't need to fit in with everybody else. And that's what separates me. And that's what's good for my business, is because I am the only one that's doing it. And even in business, okay, so we've been in business 11 years. My employees, past and present, and I'm not going to have any in the future, but past and present, we would go to the hair shows. You would meet me, Tanika, at the hair shows. We would come to Atlanta. Who's our next mentor? Talia Wajid. And yesterday, a client mentioned to me, "Oh, I love Talia Wajid's products." I never even mentioned her name, but she said, "I love Talia Wajid's products. They work best in my hair." And I was like, she was my mentor. Look on my wall, you'll see a certificate from her from 19, I think it was 1999 or 2002, something like that, whatever it was. So you never know who knows. And she said, and I also like design essentials. Now that's not a big deal up here. That's more a South thing, but she likes design essentials. And I said, I learned about design essentials by going to the Talia Wajid show. And she said, oh yeah, I met her once. I was like, yes, I met her quite a few times, so continuing education also, and me taking the staff with me. I remember I was telling her a story that on Mondays, the salon is closed. So at this time, Saja was working for me, Raheem was working for me. What we would do is open on Mondays, fundraise. That would be our fundraising money. And so whatever we raised on Monday was what we used to go to Atlanta to the Bronner Brothers show.
That's great.
Raheem really wanted to go to the Bronner Brothers show, and I was really not that interested. But because him and Saja wanted to go, I said, okay, let's do this. So what we ended up getting VIP tickets to Bronner Brothers. Our hotel was paid for Bronner Brothers. Our food was paid for. The only thing we had to pull out of pocket was airfare. That was it. Everything else paid for. But I think it takes, when you're in business, you have to have your staff included. They have to feel included.
That's right.
Unless, you don't want to be, I'm the boss, this, that, and other. You can't treat your staff that way, because that's not the way it is now. You won't have staff if you come in with an attitude like that.
That's
And
right.
another thing, and I'll let you say your points, I'm a mentor to my staff. Okay, yes, I'm the owner, and I'm not going to say, oh, I'm better than you. No, they come in with the respect of, she is the owner, and therefore I'm going to learn and I'm going to listen. They don't come in with the attitude of, I know it all, I just got out of school, this, that, and the other. And now, flip that. I told you a few weeks ago, Sharice came in, and I was like, teach me how to do this, So sometimes the teacher becomes the student, and you can't be so prideful that you can't listen to the new generation.
Absolutely. I didn't have anything to add on to there. I was just listening to your story and your journey, and the importance of having others surrounding you, having that positive energy around you, learning from one another, listening to one another, growing with one another. And I like that y'all did fundraiser Mondays. That helped to set the tone for the salon. It's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to raise the money. And so I thought that was pretty cool. 11 years, and you always celebrate the milestones. I think that people need to understand that they need to celebrate those little milestones. Okay, now you got your key to your building. Let's celebrate. Now we doing this and that and the other. We growing. So celebrate the little things, and don't despise small beginnings. I know that sometimes we're like, this is not big enough. I want a grand, but start where you are and make it work from there. I have no problem with people working from home as well. I worked at home for a little while, and I know some people still prefer to come to the house for that cozy, intimate setting, rather than being in a salon. And so I understand that. And I understand people say, well, when you go to someone's house, you don't know if you're going to get quality work. Well, you need to find out if they're a quality stylist.
If they're licensed stylist.
Okay. Licensed or stylist, because you could be licensed and still not have quality work.
This is true.
I've seen it. I've heard the stories, So that's Tisha's story on how and why she's been in business.
But wait, you got to also remember, and this is for people who want to start a business or have a business or to keep their business successful, you got to do your community service. I always say community service is key, because Okay, so I give back, and I'm gonna tell you two organizations, but I also support others. I give back to Women's Resources out here. That's the Battered Women's Shelter. What do? I do their hair for free, actually. Some people will say never work for free. No, 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 you can't have that attitude. I do that because that is something personal to me, and then I do children and youth. That is the foster care adoption system out here. Now, them, I do half price. I do charge them, but I do not charge the battered women and children that come in there into my salon. And it's very discreet. You, as a client, would never know that this is a battered woman that I'm doing in her children. As a matter of fact, if required, it will look like the salon is shut down. It will look like there's no one in there, because you got to remember, when you're doing a battered, you don't know who her batterer is. You don't know if they're following this person or whatever. So I have to make it a safe space for them. So for me, community service from day one, when I opened my doors in 2009, those were the two places that I felt like I had to give my services to. Of course, I donate to like Awesome, which is the shelter out here. Of course, I give back to like different organizations, fire department, this and other. But those two are the ones that's near and dear to my heart. And I go to the Juneteenth celebrations, and you have to be kind of almost everywhere. So I am kind of a celebrity in my town. People know who Alternatives is. People know about my hair shows and stuff like that. They look forward to it every year. I'm so sorry that it was canceled this year. This year was going to be a really big one because of the 10th anniversary. But community service is also a way to get your name out there, to keep you in business.
I think that you need to mention at this point, and my camera keeps falling, I'm sorry, y'all. I think that you have some of this information written in a book.
What? Not yet. I'm writing a book, a business book, and I don't want it to be the basic business book, because my sister-in-law, Niala, said, no, not the general business book, because I was like, I don't want to do LLC versus, a corporation. That's not the kind of business book I'm writing. I'm writing you the real from my perspective.
Okay.
Realness, not the fluff of how do you set up a corporation? How do you know if you should be an LLC? I'm not doing that.
Right, that's more a tax accountant type person would do that.
Yes.
So, but you do have a business book you're working on currently, but I believe that you did write another book on how to choose a salon.
We wrote that one together, and that's going to be on our website soon. It's coming soon. It's not out yet.
Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there. This is Tanika Gillard. I am naturally yours.
This is Tisha McDonald, Alternative Beauty Studio. Today we're talking about opening up a business, what's going to keep you in business, how can you survive the business. I would like to go into, if you have a few more minutes, a little bit of how is this going to survive during the COVID? Because that's what's the problem, the issue now.
Yeah, some people have been taking their clients to the house. Some, I know down here, that's what they've been doing. Or some people were doing concierge service where they would go to the client house and service them there. So I really don't know how people are going to work during this time. Right now, everything is open. Alabama, we've been pretty good so far and real diligent with our work ethics and sanitation. But I'm not sure how other states are going, or doing, so I don't know.
Yeah. For us, we have to still kind of be on pins and needles, because we might have another shutdown. We don't know. The cases are rising. We don't know if they're going to shut us down or if we're going to be limited even more, So, and how do you keep yourself in business when something like this happens? And again, to stay in business, you have to be able to adapt with the times. So if things are going online, guess what? I'm in classes now to learn how to teach you or show you how to do things online. So you have to be able to move with the times. That's why, what's that one, that Blockbuster went out of business, because they weren't able to keep up with the time. And here's Netflix, and here's, but they didn't keep up with the time. So you have to be able to stay relevant and keep on moving and progressing with the time.
Yes, you
and
have
with
to.
This whole time, like I said, we've taken several classes.
But more than taking classes, we have to implement what we learn. I think that's important to do. And moving on, because I know that you doing some things on the side to maintain your business. And so learning new skills and incorporating those. We know that there's one stylist who just works from home, but she does her own craft at the house. And maybe trying to have more than one way to make a living. So you talked about web classes. You could do webinars, seminars online. My daughter's having a great time back here. I'm sorry. So just being able to generate more income without necessarily contacting the client, you know, being in direct contact with
Several
them.
streams of income. This is going to be in the business book. This is going to be in the business book.
All right.
Several streams. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in today to the Twinness. We've had a great conversation. I hope you can watch it on a replay. If you like it, share. Again, this is Tisha McDonald, Alternative Beauty Studio, and my website is alternativesbeauty.studio. There you will find my online store.
Okay. This is Tanika Gillard. I am naturallyyours.com. You can book online, make your appointments online, or you can shop online at the beauty supply store. We will see you guys on Sunday, 2 o'clock, my time, right? Or is it 2 o'clock?
Yes, Central Standard Time.
Okay.
3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, there you go. I wasn't sure.
You got it.
So we will see you guys on Sunday. If y'all have a topic that y'all want to touch on, drop it in the comment box below, and we'll be sure to hit it up on Sunday.
Yes. Well, actually, Sunday we already said we were going to talk about kids going back to school. Like, what is going on right now?
But if someone has a basic question, we can hit that, of course.
Yes. Okay, guys. Good night. Thank you for tuning in.